Welcome to Sovereign Citizen Legal Encounters. All right, before we get into the video, I got one thing I got to do. All right, so we have Mr. Todd. Welcome, welcome, welcome. All right, I'll be hitting you up soon. I appreciate you joining. All right, now let's get into these videos. I have more than one, but as you saw in the title, we have Mr. Tarik Dey with his competency results that are back. We're going to go ahead and get into this video. Got a few things going on tonight, okay? So let's go.
Court calls the case, People versus Tarik Dey.
We're ready in that matter. Warren Brown, Deputy Public Defender, appearing on behalf of Mr. Dey. I believe Mr. Dey is appearing by video. Mr. Dey, could you state your name for the record?
Tarik Dey.
Thank you, sir.
So today is the date and time set for the competency review.
Did you guys get a new report?
I believe I did contact Ms. Hughes. She sent me a copy of the updated report. I was able to review it, and we should have
I have an order.
Yes.
I don't see a copy of the report. I don't have a copy.
From way back in September.
I do. That's the one. Okay.
That's the one.
All right. So there's no other additional
We
evidence?
have no further evidence to present, Your Honor.
All right. And nothing else from the people?
Thank you. Sorry, nothing else.
All right. Based upon that report, the court would find at this time then that the defendant is competent to stand trial. Specifically, the court would indicate that the defendant can understand the nature and objects of the proceedings against him and can rationally assist in his defense. Therefore, the defendant is deemed competent.
And now we would respectfully request that the probable cause conference be set.
All right. 2 weeks out work for you?
Yes, please.
All right. I'll set a probable cause conference then for December 19th, 2024, 9 a.m. Bond continued.
Thank you.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
In regards to the competency hearing, it was not only to see if it stand trial, but it was more so to make sure that the court felt I was competent enough to defend myself, which is still my stance.
I think what he's saying is that he wants
The
you.
criminal responsibility. Is that what he's talking about?
No, there's not criminal responsibility. Request or assessment.
Okay.
But Mr. Dey, if you contact our office, we'll let you know. We'll answer your question. And if you're asking to represent yourself, which I believe that's what you're asking to do.
Oh,
Mr. Dey, is that what you're asking the court
Yes,
to allow
correct.
you to do? So we can have some conversation.
okay. Right. So you guys can talk about that, Mr. Dey, if you're going to represent yourself, or if your decision is to do that after you talk with the public defender's office, you'll need to appear in person on the 19th. It will not be over Zoom.
Is there a reason for that?
Yeah.
Well, first of all, because I said so.
Oh.
And secondly, if you are going to appear, you are the defendant and you would then be counsel. So I want somebody before me.
Oh, somebody. Okay, because you said so, it's kind of a discriminatory.
Mr. Dey.
Well, because I said so, that's how this works.
Mr. Dey,
I'm done. Bond continued. I'll see you guys on the 19th.
contact our office, Mr. Dey, and we can have a discussion.
Adios.
Hide him, please.
Oh, you see how happy he is, and he trying to question Judge Simpson, but that's okay. He's representing himself, so it's gonna be, yeah, you know what's gonna happen. He's gonna mess that up. Now, the next hearing is a follow-up, okay? Because I don't know if y'all remember Clyde Lynch and Judge Perkins Court. If you don't, let's go there, and I'll give you a quick snippet. Then we're gonna go into what's going on with this, okay? Here we go.
I actually went to school for criminal justice and private investigator, but I didn't finish because I got kicked out for no necessary reason. I've been fighting that ever since. But I went to a Morris facility and learned the Constitution and everything. So
Oh,
that's
Morse.
put all that together. That's what I'm
Oh.
involved in right now.
So he's involved. He was involved in Moorish. See, they all just getting together doing stuff. But anyway, he had a hearing December the 9th. This is the day before the jury trial. What y'all think gonna happen? Let's take a look.
Did Mr. Ogletree come in for you on Clyde Lynch?
Yeah, yes, Judge, I've spoken with him. The people extended an offer.
Oh, Whitehead, you be safe out there. Have a good day.
Thank you, Corporal Whitehead.
Your Honor. Okay.
Go ahead. What's going on with Clyde Lynch?
Yes, the people have spoken with Mr. Attorney Ogletree. It's my understanding that Mr. Lynch is representing himself, and that Mr. Ogletree is more or less standby counsel. Nonetheless, at this point, the people communicated an offer to Mr. Lynch. It's my understanding that he's rejected that offer and wishes to proceed to trial.
Where is he?
I'm not sure, Judge. I've spoken with Attorney Ogletree. He was just up on the fourth floor up here with me, but I
Let's
don't.
get Ogletree in here. Hey, good morning. Is Clyde Lynch out there? Yes. Bring him in here, please. This is the city of Detroit versus Clyde Darnell Lynch. Case numbers SP 1537940, counts 1 and counts 2. SP 1554736, counts 1 and counts 2. SP 1554754, SP 1558135, counts 1, 2, and 3. SP 1590695, SP 1590696, counts 1 and counts 2. SP 1537941. Appearance for the record, please.
Aaron Ogletree, involved with Mr. Clyde Lynch. So, P number 69167. Mr. Lynch, can you state your name? Clyde Darnell Lynch.
Good morning to you, Mr. Lynch. Mr. Hope. Mr. Geringer, good morning to you. Can you put your appearance on the record, please?
Yes, good morning, Judge. Attorney Luke Geringer, P85677, appearing on behalf of the people.
All right. Today is the date and time set for a final pretrial. Tomorrow we have a jury trial. Is that correct?
Yes.
And you have a motion that you probably drafted for Mr. Lynch and put it in and articulated in writing, but Mr. Lynch is in your name. So I'm ready to rule on it. You want to make any comment on it?
Mr. Lynch wrote it, but in terms of I just copied and pasted what he wanted.
Fine.
But, yeah, but it was also my understanding is that the officers were supposed to be present today to see if
Officers are supposed to be present today. Where are the officers?
Judge, I have no knowledge of the whereabouts of these officers. I'm filling in for Attorney Bowman on this docket today. I've discussed this case briefly with Mr. Ogletree and extended a plea offer to his client. I could place it on the record, but other than that, I have no information as to where these officers are, Judge.
I specifically told Mr. Bowman on this date that the officers need to be here. Mr. Lynch is here. Go ahead, Mr. Ogletree.
respect request dismissal.
All right. This is actually the policy of the chief judge that before any final pretrial of a jury trial, everybody needs to appear because we don't want to inconvenience the citizens of the city of Detroit by bringing them in on a jury duty that we can't even get them to appear on a final pretrial for. So for that reason, we're going to dismiss the cases.
Thank you, Your Honor. Thank you, Mr. Garrett.
All right. Nothing further. Safe and happy holiday season, Mr. Lynch. Best of luck to you.
You too, sir.
I know y'all are not gonna like this because how many cases we watch together where the officers don't show up and then the cases get dismissed? I'm gonna lie, I wasn't happy about that one because he ran a whole lot of stuff with Judge Perkins, and another one walks out the door. Now let's go to the next case. Now we're gonna go into Judge Chris Morales' court out of Texas. Now, remember this sovereign citizen I covered, Antoine Davis-Bey? Well, he had court on the 3rd for trial. And guess what? He filed a motion on the 2nd. Here it is. I'm going to let you see everything. So he filed a notice to appeal, okay? And the reason why he did that for challenging the court decision to deny their motion to dismiss for lack of subject matter jurisdiction. So he's appealing that decision. He did that the day before he was supposed to come to court, and he didn't show up. Let's remind you of who this guy is, okay? All right.
Government actions include unlawful detention and seizure without legitimate legal basis. In Texas, due process violations occur when the rights to fair and impartial hearings are denied as well. And this is on the Texas Constitution, Article 1, Section 19.
So that's the guy. Just wanted to give you a reminder. Now you know. All right, next. Now we're heading to Washington State, okay, where we would Judge Tim Lewis' court, where he has a sovereign citizen in there who refuses to identify. He plays a whole bunch of games. And you know what? I'm not even going to tell you the end of it, but it's going to be funny. All right, let's roll.
Mr. Moore, you can come forward, sir.
Quite fast.
Yeah.
Record.
Oh, okay. Are you Sherman Moore?
I am not.
You're not. Okay. And so are you appearing on Mr. Moore's behalf?
Yes,
Okay.
I am, and yes, here for that matter to handle the matter that's at hand.
Okay. And are you an attorney, sir?
I am the attorney, in fact, for the said name at hand here.
Okay, so you are an attorney representing Sherman Moore?
Yes, I will be handling the case for Mr. Moore.
Okay. And are you licensed by the state of Washington to practice as an attorney?
I am not licensed or a bar member or a lawyer or anything of the such, but I am here as a beneficiary executive for the said name.
Okay, let me, before I respond, let me see if the city takes any position. Mr. Gunderson, is the city taking any position on the representation of Mr. Moore in this matter? I don't even know if you're appearing on behalf of the city in this matter.
Good morning, Your Honor. Will Gunderson, prosecuting for the city. Your Honor, the city does typically appear for the contested hearings in which officers have been subpoenaed.
Was an officer subpoenaed in this matter?
Yes. Your Honor, the officer is present. Officer Berglund is here. Your Honor, my position at this point is to request a short continuance in this case. The basis being I rely on the Judicial Information System, or JABS, review that information relevant to the particular case. Within the last 20 minutes, the JABS database has gone down. Oh.
And
do
you take a position on the representative of Mr. Moore appearing in his stead this morning for purposes of the hearing?
Your Honor, ultimately, the city would defer to the court on whether or not the individual is present is allowed to act on behalf of the defendant. To cut to the chase, Your Honor, this sounds like it might be a sovereign citizen type of situation. I don't know if the individual that is seated here is in fact the defendant, or if he is a completely separate person, separate and apart from the defendant that was pulled over at the time this incident took place. So that is a red flag, so to speak, or a question mark that does get raised in the city's mind, for which the city does believe that a further inquiry by the court may be appropriate. But ultimately, Your Honor, with regards to any representation, city will defer to the court.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Gunderson. So, sir, I'm going to ask you to identify yourself for the record, please.
I am one of the people.
I'm sorry?
One of the people.
Okay. Are you or have you been previously named or identified by the state of Washington as Sherman Moore?
I am not Sherman Moore,
Okay,
the entity in which you speak of.
okay. And do you have any relationship to Sherman Moore?
I am just the beneficiary of that name.
Okay. Well, the problem that we have here is that at this point, based upon the record that I have before me, sir, you are not authorized to represent Mr. Moore as an attorney in this matter because you are not a licensed attorney by the state of Washington. And at this point in time, based on the record, Mr. Moore has not appeared in.
Oh, he's right here, sir. Sherman Moore is right here. The name in which you speak, he is right here, sir.
Well, that, for the record, you're holding up a piece of paper.
Yes, the document, Sherman Moore, the entity in which you speak of, and one in which you tend, or this court intends to charge.
When do paper become people?
So I am just the beneficiary of said entity. That is all. And that's why I'm here. So basically, I'm trying to find out the nature of said charges that pertain to said name.
Sure, certainly.
Is this a criminal or a civil matter is what I'm trying to figure out here, sir.
This is a civil matter. So Sherman Moore, or an individual identified as Sherman Moore, was issued an infraction here in the city of Lakewood on September 5th, 2024, and was ordered to respond to the issuance of that infraction, which it appears that he did, and requested a contested hearing in which he is asking to challenge the evidentiary sufficiency of the information relied upon by the issuing officer who issued the infractions or the issuance of those infractions. But by requesting that hearing, Mr. Moore, or the individual who was issued the infraction named Sherman Moore, indicated that he would appear in person as a living person here in court. And the problem that I have at this point in time is that based upon the record that I have before the court, Mr. Moore has not appeared as a living, breathing human being in this court in response to his request for a hearing.
I am simply just a man on the land that is here on behalf of that name as the beneficiary for that name.
I understand that. But at this point,
There's a claim being made. So therefore, like I said, I'm just here to understand the nature. You say it's a civil. So where is the verified complainant for said charges?
the verified complainant is the city of Lakewood, represented by the attorney on behalf of the city, who is seated in the courtroom to your left, appearing down to my right. And Mr. Gunderson, I'm just going to ask you to formally identify yourself for the record.
Thank you, Your Honor. Will Gunderson, prosecuting for the city. I am licensed to practice law in the state of Washington. My bar number is 46991.
So the plaintiff in this case is the city of Lakewood. They are appearing here this morning through counsel, or this afternoon through counsel. It also appears that the officer who issued the infraction to Mr. Moore is also present in court in response to the subpoena that was issued for his appearance. It appears that the only individual who has failed to appear for this hearing is the respondent, Sherman Moore. And so at this point in time, with the matter having been on the calendar at 10:30 a.m., it's now 12:04 p.m. Given that Mr. Sherman Moore has not appeared in person for this hearing, pursuant to the rules for infractions in Washington courts, the court will find that Mr. Moore has failed to appear and will enter a finding of committed to each of the 5 infractions. And I believe that concludes our court's calendar for today. So thank you all very much. At this point in time, the court will be at recess.
Understood, Judge.
See you later, Judge.
Oh yeah, I'll do it in the, yep.
All right. Court is in recess.
So are we continuing or what's?
Don't you have the answer?
Based off of what grounds or what?
Mr. Moore did not.
Sherman Moore is here. I am the man of the Moore, Sherman of the Moore family.
Oh, no.
I am not the entity in which you speak of. What? What kind of charade show is going on here?
The same one you putting up, man.
So what happens now? I have to file an appeal? Okay. So I'm being railroaded.
Yeah, probably right to jail.
So the officer never had to show or anything, basically on the basis that so the witness or the subpoena I never got to cross-examine.
Oh man, that was hilarious. That judge is left. Now, I'm just saying this, okay? So once he's saying that, hey, I'm the beneficiary and all of that, I'm like, oh, you the beneficiary? And Sherman Moore's not here? Huh? Okay. Case continued, warrant issue. That's it. They want to play that game, but that's how the judge did it. But I like how he just left him there and just left the court. So that's all I have for today, okay? I got more stuff coming to y'all. I'm doing some research and good stuff. So appreciate all the comments I got from the last video I put up. I see that everybody really enjoyed it. Shout out to my people in the UK and all the different places, Australia, all of that. Y'all been sending me a whole lot of messages. So I hope you have a good day, even a night. And I'll see you around on the next video. Hopefully I had something good for you. Y'all be good. See ya.